So yeah, hello, welcome. My name is Logan, aka Spiderhands. It's just a short video today. Hopefully, I wanted to talk about an experience I've had recently with my 2700X, and basically, I guess it's a PSA about the x370 gigabyte boards and how they overclock and why I'd recommend just going with the 470 board if you can. Really, there aren't a lot of differences between the 470 boards and the 370. The 370s, which I'll put a link up, hang on, I'll just get both windows up. So you can see here, this is the board that I've got, and I bought this as a secondary motherboard for my 1700 when I had that installed. You know, it's very flash, you know, you've got RGB RAM slots and your CPU cooler, and it's got good VRMs and everything like that, well, reasonable ones. And if we go to the gallery, hang on, let's get the hell out of that. There you go, you can see there that nice VRMs we have there, the 3 PCA slots, so you can do SLI with this board, proudly displayed on it. You can stick an NVMe drive as well in there, which is great. Like for my 1700, it was exactly what I needed at the time. I don't know why Firefox is asking me to do this. Oh, and there's an overclocking guide as well, which wasn't here originally. I quite appreciate that. I wish I would have had it back when I first started overclocking with this board, but I've only just noticed this now, and it's because I haven't really looked at it in a while. Now, these boards do support the first and second generation of Ryzen processors. So they do support the 22 up to the 2700X. But I need to stress something. I cannot, for the life of me, get this board to go up above 4.2 gigahertz. I can't render videos at it. And you might be like, oh, okay, is the RAM stable? And I'm like, yes. Yes, it is, because I mem tested the RAM overnight, did 48 tests on it. Is the CPU stable? Yes, it is. There's no errors, and there was not a single error during any of the times where I tested it. So now I've got in a position where I just got really sick of trying to figure out why I couldn't get 4.2 gigahertz 8-core to work, and I've just got 4 gigahertz now at 8 cores, and it works perfectly fine. In fact, I managed to get the V-core, which is here, down to about 1.2 V-core, and it's working really nicely. There's been no issues whatsoever. It renders like a charm now. And to be honest, while initially I was disappointed, I mean, I've always wanted a 4 gigahertz 8-core processor. I wanted that very badly with my 1700, but it was just a silicon lottery. I couldn't get it, and so now for me to be able to get it so easily in the space of a year just shows how far AMD have come with their fans. And I'm really, with the CPUs, the technology, and I am tremendously impressed with it. Tremendously impressed with how they're done with their CPU and everything like that. However, I need to stress that if you're going to buy or build a rig, do not buy an x370 board, buy one of these. And you may be thinking, wow, that looks practically the same, and in many ways it does look very, very similar. But I think it's better designed to handle the higher loads that a 2700X needs. Because it's not a 65 watt CPU, it's 105 watt, and I think that's just part of the reason why I cannot get the 4.2 overclock I want. And I think that if you're building a new rig, the $100 difference means that this is worth it. You have dual NVMEs, so you can do like one of those 970 Evos or the Pros and RAID, get a gigabyte of SSD storage with like 7,000 megabyte write and read speeds. That's incredible, you know what I mean? That's ridiculous. I can't do that with my board, but I don't need to, because I have 3 SSDs in my rig at the moment, and that's enough for me. And I mean, you have other features like the GPU slots have RGB. Why is this a thing? I think that would be too much for me. What other features does it have? It has this really funny stripe here. I didn't know that Gigabyte did headphones. That's kinda rad. Yeah, so they do, yeah, exactly. So it's built specifically for the 2700X. And again, yes, the 370 boards are as well, but I don't think they're optimized for it, which is fine because when they were built, the 2700X did not exist. And I don't foresee a lot of support with the 370 boards for the second generation Ryzen processors coming because of how cheap the motherboards are from Gigabyte for 470s, for instance. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Again, I would love one of these, I just can't justify it right now. And at 4 GHz 8 core processor, I have no need to buy one of these. I have no need. It always amuses me how they have these icons. Like, look, it's a car. 10x2 digital power. I feel like I've already, I had already gone through it. You got heat sinks, you know, it's very smooth looking. You even have a thermal guard for the SSD. That's something I don't have on my one. I just put the SSD in and pray that my GPU doesn't melt it. So it's got Wi-Fi in the actual thing itself, which is super neat because the x370 board doesn't. My one doesn't at the moment. And you know, it even has a better Gigabyte. Like, this is a massive improvement to me. And I mean, look at that, you get even more LEDs with it, man. Even more LEDs. Look at all of these fancy ass LEDs. Isn't that redonkulous, dude? It's amazing. It's so beautiful. If you're gonna get a Ryzen 2nd generation, please get one of these because these are looking really good. Like, I wish I had this board at the moment. Instead, I have a board that currently, I don't know what my temperatures are up to at the moment. Yeah, no, there's been a heck of a lot more stability with it, eh? Like, you can see there that there's been a bit of V-droop, but I mean, that's fine. There's been no performance effect. Like, if it has gone down, it's gone like a couple of megahertz, and there's been no noticeable difference. And you know, you can see the maximum. I have tested them at max. That V-drip occurred when it was at max, everything at 100% because I've been doing stress testing on it. And I've been undervolting it and there's been absolutely no issues. So I mean, to be brutally honest with you, yeah. I've been spending the last couple of days trying to get this thing to work. And with the x370 board, don't get the x370, get the x470, alright? And when I say like undervolting, it's not a severe undervolt or anything like that. Like, I'm not trying to do it I guess in the way that a lot of people would, where they have like either the stock clocks and undervolt like that, or they go as low as you can and then raise it by a bit. I haven't bothered going that much lower just because the temperatures are fine. Like, this is the highest temperature I got to with my CPU whilst doing rendering. I'm not particularly bothered by it. Like, I'm almost terrified to do this power max thing. It would be a completely stupid thing to do because I don't want to brick my computer. But what this thing does is that it turns everything onto like the highest temperature it can possibly go. But I mean, even then, like, I've got 26 degrees of headroom after renders, so I am assuming that it'll probably still be about 20 degrees, 15 degrees of headroom, and that's really healthy, especially because actually a 2700X can survive at like, it can cope at up to 85 degrees on the T-die, not the TCL. But that's all I really wanted to say on that. I just wanted to make a video tonight. I felt like recording. Let me know what you think about this. Whether you want to get a second generation Ryzen with a 470 board. Obviously there are other manufacturers of them. And you know, I'm sure they're good too. I just haven't tried other mobo manufacturers because Gigabyte has been reasonably reliable. Yeah, thank you very much. Stay cool, see you later, and bye-bye.